Hello and welcome to the Silver Lining, the weekly geekly talk show where we chat about whatever we really feel like chatting about at the moment. My name is Greg. I am your host. You can call me Greg. You can call me Uncle Silver, Silver Greg, whatever you feel like calling me. This show includes both myself and it includes you, the chat, who I love to have here for these conversations because talking to myself is not very progressive. It doesn't really do a whole lot. But thank you for joining me. It's been kind of a week this week. It hasn't been really bad. We're within a month, we're almost within a month of a convention that I really love to go to, which is Too Many Games. So this is where I start to spiral into the whole I really kind of just want to go to a convention. It doesn't help that today, starting yesterday, today, tomorrow, and Sunday is Wizard World Philadelphia. And once again, I am unfortunately not going to be able to go. So I'm just kind of like, let me just try not to pay too much attention to it. It's such a fun time. You guys, if you've been here for a while, you know. If you've never been here before, then you don't know. I love conventions. I love going to conventions. I love being around the people. I love being around the people who love all the same geeky stuff that I do. So it makes me happy to be able to go to them, and it bums me out when I'm not able to go to them. It's just I wasn't even sure if I was going to do the show today. Not just because of that. Sorry, I had to close the door. Not just because of that. There's some other stuff going on that just kind of, got me kind of, yeah, that's me too when I see too many game tweets. But hello and welcome. Welcome everybody. Aqua Sakura King Chaos. I play my SNES, Spider Knife. The CT Scan, De Niro 66, and everybody else that's here, Mambo Foxtrot, everybody else that's here. We will probably see all of these names soon enough. So I love going to conventions. I love trying to go to different conventions. Unfortunately, I can't travel much. Hey, J-Punks. I'm not able to travel much, and I don't have a ton of money to be going to a bunch of crazy conventions. But one of the craziest conventions is coming up soon, and that is E3. I don't even know if that counts as as a convention. I mean, I guess that technically it's a convention technology show. And there's always the big stuff always comes up there. That's where a lot of the big video game announcements are. Everybody does their big presentation. With all of that comes leaks. We get flooded with information. We get overwhelmed with stuff that comes out, whether it's supposed to come out or whether it's not supposed to come out. Although leaks, I guess technically leaks, it is not supposed to come out. The idea is that this is information that is unwarranted. It is unconfirmed. It's all rumor. It's all, what's the word? Conjecture. It's all speculation. And that's what it is. At its nature, that's what it is. We can never verify the sources. We can't confirm what's going on. We can't confirm whether where we found out it's coming from is valid. Sometimes the sources don't even know, and they will admit it right off the bat. The problem, of course, there is that that's a lot of the time how people take it. They hear this leak information and they say, oh, well, this is what's going to happen. And then they get upset or they get really excited. And there are a lot of different ideas about how to handle all of that. And I guess the question is, one of the questions I'm posing today is it fun or is it frustrating? I myself, I like it in the sense that I like to know, I love to get the early information. I think a lot of people love to get the early information, not just because it's early, but because it's information. one of the reasons we watch the E3 presentations and stuff like that, one of the reasons we watch Nintendo Directs or that Inside Xbox thing that they did, which I think was done like yesterday or the day before as of this recording, one of the reasons we watch that stuff is because we want the information. We want to know what it is they have to say. So when we possibly get it early, most of the time because of course there's the obvious answer of well, just don't pay attention to it. Once you see that something is labeled a rumor, don't pay attention to it. But we don't want to do that. We want to absorb that information because we want to know. When I can see it as it is a rumor, once you say that it's a rumor, I like it. I like having fun with it because I like the idea of trying to figure out what it means. For this moment right now, let's take a look at some of the comments here. We're trying to find waiting till E3 to see what's released itself. Leaks are projected as revealing content that was not organized to come out by the company or the creator. Pokemon Stars leaks rumors is a good example of certain subsection of fans getting excited and then disappointed. It's frustrating because we have E3 for a reason. See, so here's the thing. One of the things I like to, I like them because I like to speculate about that stuff. Again, when it's labeled as a rumor, I like to be able to say, oh, well, that would be kind of cool if, that would be kind of weird if, what does this mean about the game? As of this recording, the biggest one that just came out was the Pokemon leak. That's that's probably the most recent leak. And none of this is, later, Mambo. And I'm going to talk about it. And I know that people are worried about spoilers and stuff, but here's the thing about spoilers. Spoilers are when you say things that are confirmed. None of this is actually confirmed yet. So it doesn't technically count as a spoiler. None of this could actually mean anything. But they talked about a few things that at this point it's supposed to be called Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, I think is what they were saying. And then it's going to be like 2 versions of the game. They're going to incorporate some Pokemon Go information or like the way you catch and stuff like that. And I liked all the information that came out. I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. I thought it makes me question what's going on, what it is. But one of the things that makes me question that people don't seem to be paying attention to is this the game that everybody was expecting? See, we were told at some point that we were going to get a mainline Pokemon game for the Switch. So people have heard these rumors. Again, none of it's confirmed. They're still just rumors at this point. But people hear these rumors and they're uproar. They're freaking out over, I don't want this Pokemon Go style catching and 2 different things, which it makes me laugh that the people are complaining about 2 different versions, because there have been 2 different versions of Pokemon every generation, every damn time, starting from the first one. In the US we got Red and Blue, and then it was Gold and Silver. Like, it's always been 2 versions of the game, so it cracks me up that I've actually seen people complaining about, it's you have to buy the Pikachu game and the Eevee game. No, you don't have to buy any. You don't have to buy any of it. You can easily say, I don't feel like buying any of it. But complaining that you have to buy 2 of them is not true either. If you really feel like you need to buy the Pokemon game, you buy one of them, like most people have done for a long time now. Strategic to leak in order. Mendez, that's an interesting point. That the leaks could be strategic. I've always wondered that too. If it's the companies that are leaking just to sort of gauge how everybody's feeling, because then when they see people freaking out, they can say, they can say internally, we're going to change that, and they can say to the public, we never planned that. That was not confirmed. That's an interesting point, and it's so conspiracy theory-ish that I am inclined to believe it. My biggest problem with this whole in this one, we'll talk about this one in particular. We'll talk about the Pokemon leak in particular for a little bit. With this leak in particular, what bothers me the most is that none of these rumors, even if these rumors turn out to be 100% true, there is nothing saying that this is the mainline Pokemon game. All of this, every rumor that you've heard, whether you like it or whether you didn't like it, could be 100% true. And there could still be a mainline Pokemon game in the works. And all of this is a spinoff, kind of the way, it's, what is it? Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Kind of like Hey You Pikachu. I don't think anybody calls that one a mainline game, but it's a spinoff. It's a fun spinoff. And that could really still be what's coming. I lied about Diamond and I got Platinum when that came out. But yeah, it makes me laugh that you can watch people get frustrated and enjoy the leak all at the same time. And like I said, me personally, I like it when it is put into the context of a rumor. It's also pretty frustrating because a lot of people feel like they're getting early information. They would rather wait till E3. This is not even questioning whether or not they like the information. It's the actual getting of the information early that bothers people sometimes. I agree with them in that sense too, where it feels like we should wait till E3. It kind of diminishes the value of E3 when this information just comes out. But again, none of this is actually confirmed information. And see, that's what's going to happen is we're going to get to E3. They're going to say some of this stuff and it's going to be legit. And we're going to say, oh, well, we knew that for a month. But you didn't know that for a month. You heard about it a month ago and you didn't know if it was true or not until now. Now, at that point, you can talk about it and say, this is what's going to happen and I am frustrated or I am excited. But until then, all you can do is speculate about what you may believe about that information. I was thinking the same thing. Even though this possible upcoming Pokemon game looks like it's going to some similar mechanics to the mainline game, which the similar mechanics to the mainline game could simply be that there are Pokemon in it. The whole game could play 100% completely different. No one thinks that Pokken Tournament has similar mechanics to the mainline game, but it's kind of a spinoff. Pokken Tournament has Pokemon in it. That's all it has in common with it. You know what I mean? But there's no question that it's part of the Pokemon series. What is this? The fact that it's going to incorporate Go mechanics makes me think it's more of a spinoff. Yeah, and Aqua, that's exactly the thing that I latch onto when I think of that it's a spinoff game, is that they incorporate Go into it. And here's the thing. You could incorporate Go into the way you catch the Pokemon simply because you flick something with the controller and you know what I mean? Or you can use the touchscreen if you want, but you flick it and that's how you catch the Pokemon. That's a little bit better, in my opinion. That's a little more engaging than you press the button and you throw the Pokeball and you just kind of sit there and wait patiently to see if it breaks out or not. It's a little bit more engaging to have there and be an action element to it. So that's kind of a plus and a minus. But it does make me think that this is a spin-off game. Another way they could incorporate Go into the mechanics is that Go attaches to your game and has a step counter. You know what I mean? The further you travel in Pokemon Go, when you go and you log onto the game, you go, like, use an app, and then you log onto the game, and then the amount of distance that you traveled adds something to your game. We have something like that in Splatoon, where you go to the app and you can order items, and then you can go and buy the items in game. I don't really see a problem there. Hell, what was it? Soul Silver and Heart Gold came with a Poké Stepper. It came with an actual little step counter that you would count the steps up, and then you would like plug it into the game or something, and it gave you points or something. I'm falling behind on the comments here. Hold on. I think I may have to do like a 30-second thing. But for many people. I feel the Switch is too big to be carried around that way. When you put it that way in terms of catching Pokemon, it makes sense. I was not fully for the idea for it. Just seems a little bit more awkward. It just seems a little bit more engaging to have the problem with having the catch. Yeah, Lady Fox. Yeah, the Pokewalker. The problem with having the catch mechanic be a little more active is that you do it so much in the game, it might get a little tiresome. You know, I would assume that eventually you'll get to a point where the Pokemon are so easy to catch. They just add a button to just do it. You know, again, that takes away from it, but you're not going to be catching low-level Pokemon when you're level 40 and 50 anyway. Mm-hmm. Or when you have multiple badges. That sounded a lot better in my head. But yeah, so the problem there is that it's frustrating to see these leaks, but a lot of that time you're letting the frustration in yourself. You know what I mean? You're getting frustrated over something. Now, earlier we were talking, and just before the show started, and CT Scan mentioned leaks versus fake leaks. I think that's the interesting. That's the interesting element to all of this. Not you, elements. That's the interesting element to all of this, is that there are a lot of fake leaks. There is information that comes out that turns out to be interpreted wrong, and there is information that comes out that is completely wrong, that is purposely wrong. Fake leaks. You know, these are things where screenshots are made, and websites are. I'm pretty sure I've even heard of people who, like, they start fake web names and Twitter accounts and stuff like that just because they want to perpetuate the leaks because it's funny to them, I guess. But one of the things that it also throws into the cog that it throws into everything is that now when leaks happen, you can't just automatically be in an uproar. Because the first thing you really should be doing, the first thing anybody should be doing in any situation, especially in this political climate, is questioning how valid that information is. Excuse me, I thought something. How valid is that information? Once a leak comes out, you get people who are in an uproar. I can't believe they're going to add this to the game. I can't believe they're going to take this from the game. They're going to do this and that. They're going to do this and that. How do you know? Because there was a leak. From where? Where did the leak come from? Have there been leaks from this person or this website before? Were they valid the last time they happened? You need to start questioning some of that stuff. And that's where they're still well, my uncle works at Nintendo. And that's why I just ignore all the leaks. Yeah, WikiLeaks. You know, and that's where you get that's a problem because, like I said, that throws a whole monkey wrench into the whole aspect of it, because now you should be looking at leaks and wondering if they're even valid, which to me kind of makes the whole thing more interesting. Because now we're getting leaks, and instead of just being able to say, well, they leaked that information early, we don't even know if it's true or not. Sometimes it's funny. Let's be honest. Sometimes we get some leaks and they look really good, and people, they throw a fit, and then it's not even true, or it's misinterpreted. Like I'm going to be laughing my ass off if for all of this frustration that they've been coming out with this Pokemon leak. I'm going to laugh my ass off if Nintendo comes up and says, "Oh yeah, by the way, that's a 3DS game that's in development. That has nothing to do with the Switch." Because I don't think, and somebody can check that out. For that Pokemon leak, did they absolutely say that it was going to be for the Switch? Because all this information I'm hearing is like, this could be a 3DS game. You know, and it's all confirmed. It's all unconfirmed information. Your name tag turned black rather than... Oh yeah, CT, what's up with that? Yeah, now your badge is gone. That's interesting. I probably laugh at that if that occurred. You know what's funny? I I'm gonna call you iPlay instead, because I was gonna call you IP, but I'm not gonna call you that. If to be completely honest, if I were a company that had the ability to fake a leak, I would probably do it on purpose. Like like wildly fake though. Like unbelievably fake. I would have all this information, it'd be all the speculation, and then it would be, oh, look at that, and none of it was true. Maybe you should wait until we say something, kind of to prove a point, to prove a lesson to everybody, to teach everybody a lesson that maybe you should wait until you hear this from the companies. Maybe you should wait until you hear E3 or Nintendo Direct or something, because everybody can fake one. Everybody can fake, and we're talking about a leak here, but everybody can fake it. So I would get a kick out of that. One of my favorite jokes is that there was somebody had said that I remember I saw there was a post, and they said what I would do is I would write a book, and then I would write 10 different endings to the book, 10 different shocking endings to the book, but I wouldn't tell anybody, and then I would produce all 10 copies and just have them sent out randomly, so that when people started to discuss it, they would talk about the twist ending, but everybody would have a different twist ending. Slowly but surely, they would all figure out that there are different versions, and then eventually it would come out that there's 10 different versions of the ending. Like, people would have 10 different copies of the book with different endings. Then I would release an 11th copy. Like, once everything's done, I would come out and admit it, and then I would say that there's an 11th version out there, and then people would scramble to look for it. Like, this was something I heard a while ago, and I remember thinking, that's hilariously devious. Like, you don't even need the second part. Just do the part with the 10 different endings. And then when you make a second book, you start the second book out with the true ending from the first one. It's just a shame when the fake leak is more interesting than the actual game we get. You know what's funny, Elements? That's another issue that this brings about, is that what happens when the leak is more interesting? You know, what happens when we get all this information and it sounds cool, and then we get it and it's just, you know what I mean? Like, we're getting all this information about the Pokemon leak, and what happens if it turns out that the actual Pokemon, that's all fake, and the actual Pokemon game is just Sun and Moon on the Switch? You know what I mean? Like, that's gonna piss a lot of people off. Yeah, you start the second book with an ending that was never written. There you go. So that's it's. I like that as a concept. I like that, but it leaks in general. Some people think that they've ruined the thing. Some people think that when it's time to, and that's a way that it ruins it. You know, when it's time to watch E3 and it's time to get all this information, they have all the leak stuff on their brain, and they're either bored or they're unimpressed by the information that actually comes out. You know, so some people think that ruins it. Ew, Sun and Moon on Switch, would not buy. Never played Sun and Moon. I've only ever played two of the mainline Pokemon games. I don't know, I wonder if it, and I'll open it up to you guys. Do you think that, well, I mean, it's been open up to you guys the whole time, but do you think that it's fun? Like, it's like I said, sometimes I really enjoy I like the leaks. I like the different information. I like the different ideas. And sometimes it can be frustrating. You know, sometimes it gets irritating. You know, there's the real leaks and the fake leaks, and it's just, I don't know. So what is this? Sun and Moon is greater than Red and Blue. Easy there, CT. Easy there, CT. I'm a Gen 1er. One example I can think of is the Rabbids. We knew for a while, so it was kind of underwhelming when it was announced. But we see Elements. Now, there's an interesting concept, because that's something that what I thought was better when I found out about it. When they said Mario and Rabbids, I thought, oh God, it's going to be a party game, because the Rabbids games were kind of party games, and Mario has had a line of party games. So when I found out what it really was, I was really excited. I really find it strange how immediately some people thrust their expectations. Smash for Switch is a pretty big unknown as of right now, and yet we see videos about rumors which just push expectations. And you know what's funny? I play those videos about the rumors and stuff. I don't think there's any rumors. There's nothing that has happened to generate a genuine rumor. It's all just what people think, but because they call it rumors, it looks legit. How about no fights and enjoy Spider? No fights and just enjoy what you play? You must be new here. not here, but to video games in general. So far, fun to see people's reactions over it and then listening to all the possibilities of that. But what if I want to punch a guy in the schnoz? Silver EX. I'm sure there'll be a Switch game that you can punch people with. If the rumor circulating is big enough, more often than not, I investigate these things myself. Yeah, registries, domain holders, company source locations. I'd rather be wowed by the information about the company. So I get that. Yeah, see, I'd rather be wowed by the companies with the information, but I'm still wowed when I see them because up until that point, I have taken everything with a grain of salt. I have taken all of the rumors and said, they're just rumors. They may be true, they may be interesting, but I'm not going to hold the company to say or not say any of that stuff. So I'm always still pretty impressed. That's why I do still like watching E3. You know, and I mentioned earlier, like, people watch E3. One of the reasons they like to get that information, they like to just get it at first. And so they like to get it first, so sometimes they like the leaks because they feel like they're getting it first, and then sometimes they hate the leaks because they're getting BS first, and it diminishes when the actual leak happens. Because let's face it, if we could just wait until after E3 and read all the stats, but we like watching the video. We like seeing the BS that they put us through, whether it's the big live action puppets or, you know, what was that, inside Xboxing with the skits or something. Who's that? Mario and a one night stand with Rabbid Peach. At least Game Explain is good about making videos on rumors. You know what? Game Explain is good to very clearly state multiple times throughout the video that what you're watching is a rumor. What you're watching is a leak. What if there was no E3 and all of them did their own direct? CT, you know what? I'd be happy with that. I would be way happy with, and that's one of the things that Nintendo has us all spoiled in. We like watching the E3s for the big giant reveals, but I like that every few months they do a direct and we get some of the smaller information throughout the year. We get it directly from them. We don't have to rely on rumors and leaks that they then have to confirm because they weren't intending on anybody finding it out ahead of time. Every few months, when we get a rumor about Nintendo, normally when we get a rumor about Nintendo, my first thought is when is their next direct so we can find out the truth. Also, admittedly, not everything at E3 is going to be leaked. Element E3 is still going to have a bunch of surprises. And that's the problem. It's projected that the majority don't take it as a great... Yeah, that's the problem, Spider. Sometimes I understand for the interest of discussion, but then... I could just as much feed it if you repeat the info. Yeah. When you hear it over and over again, Spider... Again, in our current political climate, the idea seems to be the more you hear something over and over again, the truer it is, even though that is wildly wrong. Nobody would watch Microsoft Direct. People would watch a Microsoft Direct once they start showing us something interesting. And I think that they would. I think that people would watch a Microsoft Direct. I just think that it's, at this point, they're just not a very interesting video game company. Hence the idea that I had before, which I don't remember what episode that was, but the idea of them switching over and branding a computer with the Xbox name. Good example on my reaction to the leaks. I happened upon the Smash 4 leaks regarding Duck Hunt being a character, finding the idea stupid, proceeded to get the game a year later and main Duck Hunt for half a year. Expectations are a fickle thing, and you know what's funny? I remember there were rumors about that, and I thought it would be kind of cool, but I didn't believe it. And then when it was finally confirmed, I thought, "Oh my god, it is true!" Like I was still wowed. I've grown to quite like E3 because it's like a crispy. It kind of is, right? Isn't it, Spider? It's so much fun. Like we wake up on E3 day, and we know that we're probably going to hear some really cool information. June is coming. When is it, by the way? Is it? Oh, it's like the week before I go on vacation too. Can we talk about the adaptive controller? Yeah, Elements. When we get to the second half of the show, we'll talk about some of that stuff. Although I may end up cutting the show a little bit short today, so we may end up switching to something else. If Pokemon Switch fails in sales, can they rebound? CT, I can't even. CT, hold on. Let me ask you here, CT. Are you talking about the Pokemon mainline game or this version of the rumor? Because remember, this rumor, even if this rumor turned out to be true, isn't necessarily the mainline game. Are you talking about if a mainline Pokemon Switch game fails? Microsoft Direct. Oh, there's a new car on stage. Yeah, June 12th to the 14th. Yeah, because here's the thing, CT. As far as numbers go, a mainline Pokemon Switch game isn't going to fail. It's not. I wouldn't even fathom a response to the idea of it failing because it won't fail. There has never been one before. The Switch is probably the fastest selling video game system of all time. It will not fail for the simple reason that I don't believe first and second week movie numbers. I don't believe in when people say, "Oh, well, it's a good movie because in the first week it made $900 million." I don't trust that because what I count on is everybody being so excited that they rush right out to go see it, whether or not they know that it's bad. Second week is always the people who, even if they heard it was bad, they need to see it for themselves. By the third week, you start to see a drop-off in viewers if the movie is actually terrible, because now you're getting people who, oh, well, I've been hearing for the last 2 weeks that it's not really a good game, it's not really a good movie, so I don't really, even I was excited to see it before, and I'm not going to bother seeing it now. The first Pokemon game for the Switch as a mainline game, Spider, thank you for the host. You hosted, you've been here. But the first mainline Pokemon game for the Switch doesn't have a predecessor before it. There's nothing for people to look at and say, "Oh, well, the last one sucked, so this one's gonna be kind of bad." People will rush out and buy a Switch Pokemon game so fast that even if the game is not good, by the time people start to realize that, they'll have already made their sales. But people will still buy it anyway, even if they think that it's bad, because they want to try it for themselves, because it's the first one for the system. I think that the world would have to explode for the first Switch Pokemon game, mainline game, to not be a success. People must just be lurking in your chat. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah, for Spider, yeah, because Spider clicked the host, and then it had 4 people in it. The people just hang out. Spider, you are that awesome, but are you that awesome that people just sit in your chat all day? I mean, I know Johnny has that. Johnny has he's got you go to the chat when there's no stream and there's people just watching. There's people just sitting in their chat. They're his chat is like the Discord. It's like his Discord. So people can shut up about Gen 1. I'm saying that because of how marketable it is than another game. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the world will explode from first date sales. You were either there from his stream earlier. Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, I don't. No matter what, whether those leaks are interesting or not, or whatever, though the Pokemon game is going to succeed, and I don't see any of those leaks causing a problem with it. I don't see any of that happening. I think that it's just going. I think that it's just going to be a success, and that's just kind of the end of it. I think if they made an awesome game on par with Breath of the Wild, it should be would prefer. See, I like Gen 1. Now, what I wouldn't mind taking is as a different approach to Pokemon. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a break? I know this is a little early. We're going to take it. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to cut this episode short or not. So we're going to take a break, maybe a minute or so. And then when we come back, we'll get into viewer topics, which we will probably just discuss some Pokemon, and we'll discuss a little bit of everything else, whatever you guys want to talk about. So just give me a minute. And then when we come back, we'll start picking up on your topics. So I hope to see you then.